Afternoon everybody, welcome to the Flower Patch. My name's Iris Smith, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day and I hope you're enjoying your creative arrangements that you're doing for anybody or yourself or a loved one. Enjoy. Thank you again for all your wonderful messages that I'm receiving, concerning my mum's gates of heaven. I was inundated with lots of messages. I didn't answer them till this morning as I went to visit my sister last night. So I didn't really get to answer them. Usually I answer them when they come in and it pops up and, I read it and then I answer. Anyway, today I did say yesterday that we're going to do an arrangement using leftovers or scraps, whichever you may call them. So I've been in my bucket of leftovers and I've dug out some floral and foliage. They do tend to be, I did tend to, should I say, have a lot of blue. So I thought, why not? Let's use up the blue. Think of our dads or even our mums who like the colour blue, or a loved one, and let's, create a nice basket arrangement for them. And you could either have this, again, as a gift for your mothers if they like blue for Mother's Day, or just as a gift in itself, or even to place at the side of a graveside and, for spring against the loved one that's sadly passed. So I thought, let's do that. So the basket is 8-inch wide, in diameter, 8-inch across there and there. So it's got a handle on it. I have chosen a ribbon, but I've not made a bow yet. I thought I'd do it if I decide I'd like one in, and we'll do it as we go along. It's a deluxe ribbon, and I do get it from Kerry's Wreaths for All Occasions, which is kerryswreaths.co.uk, and she's on Facebook, and she does lives where she sells ribbon which is imported from America because they have the best ribbon. And I decided to choose this beautiful blue one, and she does charge for this a 10-yard roll in English currency £21.50. But honestly guys, some people may think that's slightly expensive, but it is worth every penny. The beautiful pattern, and it also is fused on the back with silk. When I say fused, it does mean that it is double layered. So it's got this ribbon on the front, and then they've added another ribbon on the back to cover it so you can't see through, and then obviously stitched it together. But the wire in it is incredibly fabulous. It's amazing. It holds your loops in the, in the way that you'd like them. It's a beautiful quality and affordable ribbon. I do like Farrow silk as well, but Farrow silk is, you guys know, in America, it is an expensive brand, but it is exceptional quality. And this is exceptional quality, but at a more affordable price. So she does do Kerry other sizes like the 5/8, 7/8, 1.5 inch, 2.5 inch. This is a 2.5 inch, and I think, let's have a look. Yes, 2.5 inch, and she has all different designs. So check her out, guys. She does fabulous ribbons. So I think looking at it, it looks like on the pattern it may be I think probably something like delphiniums or something along those lines, but it is stunning. So we're going to use this ribbon as we go along. Now, again, I've been in my leftover bucket and I've dug out blues and greens and somewhat whites. So first of all, I did have a bunch, well, I'd say a stem of these. So before I started, I pulled them off and place them on single picks. And these are just blue seeds, seed heads in dark rich navy blue. And I thought, when you do an arrangement, always add in different tones of that colour, whether it be a lighter tone, then a medium shade, then a darker shade as well. So everything bounces off each other and lifts it. So always try to remember that, and your arrangements will look outstandingly beautiful. So there's the blue seeds. Now I've got some oddments of, or some leftovers from my ivy, so I thought I may dot a few of those around. I found 3 pieces of my twiggy bits with the greenery on, and I thought I could put that, or try to attach it around the handle so the handle doesn't look too bare. So I've got 3 pieces I've found. Now I have found some leftovers of my olive leaf. I may incorporate that, but at the same time I've found a few pieces of my, let me think I think it may be ruscus or willow, probably willow I think, or it may be ruscus, I don't know, but it's very similar shape to the olive leaves, so we may, you know, mix them both. The olive leaf has got veins on, this, well, we'll call it ruscus, hasn't got any veins on, so I'll see as we go along. I found some also of these on single picks, loose at the bottom. I found 9. So I thought, yes, we could dot these around, and these are flocked ruscus that I actually took off a bunch and placed on single picks, but didn't use them all. I found what I cut off a stem as well, some of these little snowballs in navy blue. I've got 1, 2, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I found 6 little pieces, so I've got those out. And I found some berries, some blueberries that I cut and didn't use, so I've pulled those out as well. There's 4 here that I can see, so we'll incorporate those. Don't worry about the number. I know I always like to say work in the odd numbers, like 3s, 5s, things like that, but when you're going in your scraps bucket, you just have to, you know, make do with what you can find. Even if it ends up as an even number, you could perhaps cut it in half to create that odd number, but don't worry. Now I found these 5 roses, these 2-toned roses, and they was loose. The band's broke. It's not very good, that band, but they was loose. Some have got leaves on the other one of them hasn't. So I thought we could maybe incorporate some of those. And then I found these little 5. I'm lucky that I found them in 5. Little hydrangeas as well. What I pulled off a hydrangea head and placed on single picks. Again, there's 3 here that haven't, not 3, sorry, there's 1 here that hasn't got any leaves on, so I won't worry about that. And then I found 1, 2, 5. I did find 6, but I just pulled 5 out. I may not use all 5, but some of these foliage with white blossoms on, they come on a big bunch, and I've had them, you know, I've got lots, so I've had them ages. So these was in the leftover bucket. As you can see, I did put tape down and around them, but not use them. So we've got those as well. Now I found 2 of my butterflies with the blue and like a milky white, and I've only just got the 2 left. So again, I could split and just use 2 blue, 1 white, or just pop them both in together. And I found some little blossoms. I've got 6 here where they come just with the heads. When I bought them in a packet, they just come with the heads, and I place the stems in, the picks in myself. So there's 6 I found in the bucket of those. And then I found 3. I mean, I've got some more of these, but I thought, why use a fresh bunch when I can use them out of my leftover bucket? So I've got 3 little blue, dusky blue hydrangeas. So I thought that would be pretty as well. And then I found these that I used. I didn't put them back on the shelf. I don't know why, because there's quite a few here of these little miniature chrysanthemums, or carnations, sorry, that I thought we could use those. And again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 9. So I don't know why I didn't put them back on the shelf, but I just obviously popped them in the leftover bucket. And finally, I have got some plastic tulips. I bought these not long ago. I tried them out on an arrangement. I don't really, the leaves are nice because they're a rubber texture, but the flower is actually plastic. So these would be good for outdoors. So they're not silk and they wouldn't get wet if it rained. So, I mean, they've got green on as well, white and green. I thought, let's give it a go and see what they're like. I'm not a big fan of them. When they arrived, I didn't really like them. But I'm not going to put them to waste. So we're going to try and incorporate that. Again, I may still be left over with some bits from here. But that doesn't matter. I can still use them on other projects as well. So that's my leftover bucket in the blues and some whites. I have got some white roses and things like that, but I chose not to get those out. So I'm gonna, if I do a bow, it won't be a big full bow. It'll probably just be a couple of loops or something. But I may do one at the bottom of the handle, or one right in the center, or one here, one with a couple of loops here, and one on this side. I'm not sure yet. We'll just see how it goes as we go along. So I'm doing this blind. I haven't got a design in my head. I'm just going with it, as probably most of us do. But I always say, the ones that you don't plan always seem to come out just as beautiful. So I'm going to bring the camera down and we're going to get started, guys. So one moment. So let's just, I'll bring it here so you can see. I will keep it like that. So here we go. Now I don't know if I'm going to use this rust because it is quite long, so it may be a shame to break it up when I could use it for a wreath. So let's put that one aside for now, and let's use the olive ones that I've got. So if you have any, scraps, oddments, get them out, guys, and see what you've got. Place them together. I placed all them together in a bunch in my hand to see if they all look nice with each other, and they do. If there's one, when you do that, because I usually go like this and then bring them all in my hand like this. And then if they look nice, obviously in the rest, and if they look nice together and I think, yes, the leaves look nice, we'll keep those. Now, if you spot something in and you think, oh, that doesn't look right, it's a bit too either big or it just doesn't sit with the rest of the flowers and foliage, take it out. And you can always use it for another project. So what I'm going to do, I'm just having a look how long some of them are, because obviously I'm going to get some that are much longer, like that one. So I've got 2 small, 2 in between and 2 long. I've placed in some weight at the bottom of the basket so it doesn't, you know, fall over. I've placed it, you could put decorative stones or some sand. If you have sand, place it in a little bag so the sand doesn't get everywhere, and put it at the bottom and you'll have your weight. I've got decorative stones, or if you've got any stones on your garden, go and pick a few up and use those. That would save you from, you know, purchasing any that's where they could be, you know, quite expensive, or to save on your finances. So go and grab a few off your garden or off your yard if you've got any. Then I placed in a piece of foam, wrapped it in wreath wrap, and then just placed in a tie wrap. I threaded it through here so it goes underneath the foam, and then I threaded it coming underneath and brought it back through here, and then went across the top and pulled it together so the foam won't come out. Excuse me. Or if you wish, you could glue it in as well. So again, I'm just gonna, oh, I've just pulled a leaf off. It's not very good. So I'm going to see, again, I'm going to go also where you see a gap here, it isn't filled the whole of the basket. I've left gaps around each side so I can bring stems and place them in here, which will hide the foam down here. So I'm going to use, let's cut them at an angle, and we're going to firstly, we're going to go down inside here. You don't always have to have your foam fit in the shape of your basket or container, because you will be placing things here anyway. So we've got one there, and again I'm going to cut these stems, and I'll place another one here, again going in the same position inside the basket at the bottom where the foam is sitting. And then just get your stems and just slightly bend them over. You don't want them sticking out vertical. It's just so you give it natural movement. Hi, hon. So you just give it that natural movement so it's coming and drooping downwards slightly. Then I'm going to place one here and then one here as well. So we'll do that. I don't want it too tall because I want to use the twiggy bits to cover the stem. So I'm going to keep it as low as possible. So again, just bend them over. They're the 2 long ones. I may save those. And we'll place one in here. I'm placing it in here like that on one side of the handle, but then I'm getting, because it's got 2 sets of leaves, I'm grabbing one of them. Let's get all this glue off. Grabbing one of the leaves and threading it around the handle so that it then become either side of your handle. So that's what we have at the moment. I will save these because I may chop these up. So let me just put those aside. So where's those twiggy bits? So I have these twiggy bits that I want to bring here, and because they're wired all the way to the top, I want to thread them around the handle. So we're going to place one in this side, on the inside of the basket again. Just grab the twiggy bit and just help it around. And bring it here. So you've got it coming around. And I'm going to place one this side as well. Have I got a smaller one? Yeah, there's a smaller one. So we'll do the same with this and push it in from the inside of the foam and just wrap this one around as well. So it meets up or overlaps with the other one. I'm doing one little stem at a time. So it will then meet at the top. So you can see it's wrapped around your handle. So I've got this one left. What I'm going to do is cut it up. I'm going to take them off individually. So I've got 4. So what I'm going to do with these is in between each of these olive leaves, I'm going to place one in between. And again, I'm going inside the basket. And with them just being wired, I can twist and bend them how I would like them to sit. There's obviously some are smaller than others. Don't worry about that. Again, it's more the natural look. Send it over. And it's just so I can use them up. So we've got those in and around, so they're used up. Right, I've got these, and these are quite bushy, so I'm going to be bringing these around the side as well. So if I just do a cleaner cut on there. So I may just put in 3 of these. And again, I'm doing around the edge first. And then bend them over. Now these are also wired, so to the tip, so you, with the leaves especially, so you can just arrange them how you would like them to sit. It's just let's cut this one as well. There we go. And then I'm just doing the same on these. And just allowing them to fall naturally. So I'm using 4. And bending those over the sides as well. So it's looking like that. Again, I've got 1 left. I don't want that. I can save that and pull it apart for different things. With the butterflies, I was thinking of placing them up here. So I'm just thinking how I should do it. I pull the butterfly off if I can. Gosh, they were glued on really well. And I've got some twiggy bits here what I haven't got leaves on. So I'm going to put the glue around that at the bottom. And I'm pushing it into the twiggy bit. Just wipe some of the glue off. So we've got the butterfly there. And then the white one. Let's have a look if I've got another twiggy bit somewhere yet. Here, I'll bring a white one around the other side. So I'm just dipping it in my glue pan and placing it on that little twiggy bit, wiping the glue off that's seeped out, and then bring a butterfly there. So I may have 2 blue and a white one either side. So we'll go for the blue one again. I've got a twiggy bit here. Let's have a look. So we'll get the blue one here as well. And let's see if I've got another one spare for a white one. Oh yeah, here. That's good. So we'll use the white one for there. So then we'll bring that. So we've got the butterflies on, which are around there. I won't keep these. I don't really care for the foliage on them. Right, now we've got our hydrangeas, and then we've got our roses. Let's place in our roses. Now these are push-ups, so I'm pushing all the foliage up to the top. And I'm going to go on top here, and I'm going to have it just sticking out. So then I'll bring this one on the top as well. You don't have to have them all the same size. You could have some pushed lower than others and facing a different direction as well. So I'll go on this side as well, just to bring it in. I've got 5, but I think I'll just use the ones with the foliage, or I may use the 5th one in the centre. So I'm going in each corner of the foam with these, and then I've got this one more I'll bring in the centre. And we'll pop that in. I'll bring that a little bit. I may pop these in a little bit further, so it's not as, so we can still see that stem, that handle on the, oh gosh, I can't get that one in very well. Oh, let me just pull it out, guys. Just cut it a little bit more. Take that glue off the wreath wrap. We don't want dried glue. Bend that one down as well. Oh, I can't do that one either. The glue's set. So we'll cut it. Remove the glue. Because if you leave the glue on, even if you're using moss, or even if you're just having your foam is just plain, and you pull something out and you don't remove the glue, then that you're covering up a spot where you could place another piece of floral or foliage. So pull the glue off so then you can put something in the place of it. Otherwise, you're going to find it a little bit hard to put anything in it. Now, I've got these. It's a pity I didn't have a fifth. Oh, a fourth. I may have a fourth. Let's have a look. I'm going to go now in between each of the roses on the outer side. I'm going to bring these a little bit further down so they're not on the same length or height as what the roses are. So they're just going to hang over the side here. So we'll go down here and have it there. I'm going to just check my bucket and see if I've got any more. Let me just go and have a rummage in my leftover bucket. Oh, what's that? Found one. Oh, found two. But I didn't want two. We'll just grab one. I found, oh my goodness. How lucky was that? If not, I was going to go and snip one off of the new stem. But we found one. So, we've done that. Place them around. Again, this is going to be a slight compact one. This is a bit too long for me. So I may just snip that one off and place it on the inside. So I'll do it with that one. And then this longer one here. So let's just snip that one off. We've got another one here. Let's use that one. I'm going to snip one off of each. So we've got 4. So, put those aside. So we've now got in our lovely I'm going to just snip that off. That's a bit long. Our lovely hydrangeas. So I want to add in some white again. I think some have got leaves on, some haven't. So let's see where we'd like to. I'm going to bring some of these carnations, these little mini carnations, around the side, just under, again, the roses. I will show you in a moment. just like that there. I've got quite a few, so I can bring some up above as well. Again, this is going to be more of a compact arrangement. I mean, you know me, guys, I do like my wispy arrangements, but there's always somebody who doesn't like that sort of a style. So you have to sort of like be able to make them what they're asking. So I may bring one under there and one on the other side. So let's get another one. And then bring these where the rose is in the center and push them right down as far as they'll go. If I can get that one to go right down. There. So that's what we have at the moment. So I've got 3 left, so I can save those for another project. Oh, my husband bought me a drink in. Now, I've got the berries. I'm going to bring, the berries do look pretty. They give off that different texture and contrast against all the other leaves. So let's see how big the stems are. That's not a very big stem. Could I move that onto another one? Not really. So we'll have to try and work. It is a really tiny stem. So I'm going to work with it. I'm going to go right on the corners of the foam, push it in as far as I can, and then just let it stick. I may bend it over a little bit, that's like so. Let's find the corner to this one, which is here, and do the same. Just slightly bend it over. Now the stems on here are slightly longer, so I'm going to just tidy the stems up where I cut them off the bunch. And also this one as well. And then I'll place these in again on the corner of each foam, not each foam, on the corner, on each corner of the foam. If I can push that one in. Excuse me. And again, just bend them over, spread them, you know, weave them through other foliage. well. So we've done that. Now before I carry on, I want to look at the ribbon. I'm not going to place one up above. I think on the ends of the handles, let me just see. I don't think I want 2 loops. I'm just going to fold it over to see if I need 2 loops. I don't know, the 2 loops look quite nice. So let's just have a look with 1 loop again. I don't. Right, I'm going to. Now, with it being fused, let me just cut it across. With it being fused, I'm going to not dovetail. I'm going to, because it's got the silk backing, I'm just going to fold over the edge. If you want it more secure, your edge, even though this wire will hold it, you can place a bit of glue under here, and when you fold it, stick it down. So if I show you, especially if you're a beginner, I haven't got my glue gun on, so I'm using this. So on the end here, place a tiny bit of glue going across like so. Bend it over, and then it will hold that in place there. Then bend it again, and I always bend it twice because you don't want to see the cut where you've cut with the scissors. And you can glue it again if you like, or just leave it as it is. If you want to glue it again, do the similar thing. Before you bend it over, go across here like so, and then fold it over and pat it down, and then it will stay in place. So then I'm going to have a tail end. I'm going to do 1 loop, and then I'm going to have a tail end. So what I'm going to do, my mat's moved. I'm going to measure on my mat. I think I'll do a 5-inch. No, I need a tail end first, don't I? So we'll do it here. So I folded it over with a little bit of a tail end. Then I've twisted. I put it in between the thumb and finger, twist it so the pattern's facing forward, and then snip it. Then you can use, I'm going to use a floral wire on this one. Get a floral wire, go around, bring it around to the back, pull on it tight, and twist your bow. Not the wire, just the bow. So as you can see, I've got a loop, 2 tail ends. Now I need to cut this tail end and do the same here. So I'll cut it a little bit further in, and I don't mind my tail ends being both at different lengths. And if you don't want to put glue on, just turn it like so. And then your wire at the back, I get 1 piece out of both of them, and I wrap the shorter one, if there's one longer, around the longest one. And I just go around, so this makes the wire thicker and a little bit more stronger. And I do that. So you can then get your wire, and you can either wrap that around the handle, or you can stick it into your foam. I'm going to wrap it around the handle, because I don't really need it in the foam. And I'm just going to keep going around the handle till I haven't got any wire left, but make sure the wire is flat so it doesn't stick in anybody's hand when they touch it. So I've placed that in there. Now you can just keep it as one, or again have another one on the opposite side. No, I don't know. I may do another one. Let's do another one. I'm going to measure to 10 inch, then overlap, pinch it in between my thumb and finger, and then the tail end, what's still attached to the reel, twist it forward so it's facing the front with all the others, and then just snip it. I will fold over the tail ends in a moment, and then get your wire, go around the back. Don't be frightened to just hold on to the bow tightly, because you can obviously make it look, fluff it back up. So that's that. So I've got the two tail ends facing forward. So let's just move that out of the way. So that's 1, 2. And then do the same on the opposite side of the handle. Again, I'm wrapping the wire around the handle. I can just grab it. There we go. Place it where I'd like it, and then wrap around the wire around the rest of the handle. So that it doesn't move. So you've now got that. You could make the loops, if you want, have the loops hanging down with the tail ends, you know, like that sort of a thing. You could do it like that as well. So I've got these tulips, haven't I? You can move this. What I'm going to do, in between the rows, I'm going to place the tulip. So we'll just push up the leaf as far as it will go. I've got 5 out. I'm not going to use all 5. Again, I've got some more of these left, but I just grabbed 5. So I can put those back in my leftover bucket. Now you can save the stems that you've cut off, and you can use those to put on a flower head, you know, or even something like this, what's on a paperback, and just use some floral tape and go around it. So then you've got a longer stem than this. So you can save those. So we have that. Now I want to add in some of these seed heads. Again, I may not use everything I have here, but with the seed heads, Oh, let me drink my coffee. With them being dark, they will bounce off of your arrangement. And I'm just going to pop these in randomly. There's not going to be any particular, I've got quite a few here, not going to be any particular place I'm putting them. So I'm just going to pop them in and around. Bring some to the top, some to the further down. I've got one here, one down here. I'm going to bring this one in here. So I'm going to place, I think, some up at the top, some further down, just to give that lovely effect. And with them being very thin, you can place them quite close to each other. Let's get that glue string. All I'm doing so we're back to where we are, and I've got, after this one, I've got 3 left. So because I've got 3 left, I will get those in and I'll bring them along the bottom. So let's get some underneath all of the, where the olive leaves are at the beginning. Bring some down there. I've got 1 left. We'll bring that there. So that is all of those seeds in. Now I have got some hydrangeas, and I'm going to bring these, I've got 5, I'm going to bring those around the side. I do also have, I'm not going to place these in, I will save those, but then I've got these little blossom heads, I'm going to bring those in as well. I'm not going to bring in the ivy, but I will maybe place some of these ruscus pieces in and around as well. So we'll just use those, I'll put those up there. So I'm going to do the same with these hydrangeas. I'm going to bring them along the bottom. They're a lighter blue, so let's have them around the bottom of the arrangement. So I've just added that in here. because I've got 5, I'm sure I'm getting all 5 in. I'll bring one in there. So I've brought the hydrangeas along the bottom. Now I've got little white blossoms, and because they're a longer length, they will add a bit of movement. So how many have I got? 1, 2, 3. I've got 6. So what I'm going to do is bring just some for the movement up above. Have them, you know, sticking out slightly. So you've got some, they act like wispy bits. And again, I'm placing these in where, just randomly, where I think they may look nice or they are needed. So I've got 3 that side, so I may as well put the other 3 on the other side. So let's just cut them down. So we've got those in and around as well. So now I've just got the ruscus that I've got here, and I'm going to do the same thing. If you see a little bit of a gap, pop one in there, and just to, you know, cover up what you can see. So if I do 3, 4, 5, I do 5 at the top, then I've got 4 I could place along the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So I'll cut these a little bit longer. There. So the smaller ones I've cut, again, just pop them in wherever you feel at the around the top that you're gonna, you know, one may be needed. Pop it in. And place some deeper than others to add depth as well. That there. One more. I feel I need it around here. So we've got those in at the top, and now because I've got 4 left, I will space them out equally along the bottom. So I will go 1 here, and 1 under the ribbon around here, or in between the tail ends. We'll take it. So bring one under here. And then one under this ribbon as well. And I'm taking it in between the two tail ends. Now I do have these four, and they're not very strong. So if that's the case that you get, stick them to another stem or place on a floral wire or a pick and place them in that way. Now I'm taking them either side of the loop, so I'm sticking them to the ribbon, to the bow. So that's what I'm doing, so it sticks there. And this is another way to use up some leftovers without having to throw them away. So I could lift those and make it look like they're hovering. Oops, I've just pulled that one off. My goodness. So let's stick that back on. Wipe the glue off. And have them like hovering around, like they're flying above the pretty flowers. So there we have it. I'm not going to place in anything else. I've used a lot in there of my leftovers, and that's what you can create with your leftovers. Even if you want an arrangement where it looks like it's multicolored, and that's another way to use up different colors of your leftovers or your scraps. And that's another way to use them if you want the multicolored effect. By using all different colors, or if you've got, like I did, I had quite a bit of blue and white, use those instead to make just one color. I think the loops, they look like bat wings, and I think that's bothering me, so I don't know, so if you're going to change your mind like I just have, I'm going to take it off of this handle. You can, instead of, starting again, cut your loop, bend them over like so, and then you have got 4 tail ends. You can have 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, whichever way you'd like it to be, or just have them all hanging down one way. So I'm just going to look, yeah, I like that. So I'm going to wrap it back around. Now I've got 4 tail ends, no loops, but 4 tail ends. So I'll wrap the wire back around the handle. I will then weave some of these and place them back in. I will show you in a moment, everybody. Let's have a look. Well, can I bring them all facing down. Yeah, I can. Because it's covering up a bit of the butterfly. So I've just dropped one of those, pulled that off of the ribbon. I'm going to pop that in above. I'm just going to hold down the bits that I've folded over. As well. So I've done it like that instead. So I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. So let me pull that off the ribbon. And this, again, it's okay to be able to change your mind on anything. If you place it in and it just doesn't look right, just do what I've done. Fold your ribbon up, flatten it out, and then cut where the creases. So I'm going to fold that over and I'm going to glue it down. Put a bit of glue across the top and then fold it back over. So that holds that one in place. Do the same. Put a bit of glue on. And fold that. Let me place a little bit on these as well. That one I've done. So then I'm going to bring these all down like I did the other one. So I'm twisting them and manipulating them so they do come down into the position that I'd like them to sit. And with them being wired, they're going to do that and they'll come down. So you've ended up with like 2 longer tail ends and 2 shorter ones. And then we're going to wrap that one back around the handle on here as well. I just moved that flower. And wrap the wire around. Where's that? Now I'm going to get these and I'm going to stick them back in. I think I haven't got one there. Where's the other one gone? Oh, it's here hanging underneath. So let's place that one back in as well. So that is, I think, better, don't you guys? That looks much better than having the loops popping out. So then just bend things into shape. Now I've moved the loops just to fill those areas where the loops were, or add in a little bit more foliage. And there we have it. That is what we've created out of my scraps or my leftovers, in my leftover box. or oddments, whichever you call it, they're all the same. And you can create something really, really pretty. Again, for any of a loved one who will doesn't like pinks or things, and they like blues, and you can create that beautiful basket arrangement, so they could have it on a cabinet, on the coffee table or dining room table, and have it sitting there, or even in a window, in the bedroom, anywhere in the home, or maybe even in the summer, bring it outside and place it on your garden furniture on the table, and have it sat there as well while you may be outside in the sun having a gin and tea, or a nice cold drink, or a nice lovely warm hot coffee or hot chocolate, anything like that, with a piece of cake. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And again, you still get the handle and lift it, and with the butterflies being around the top hovering, I think that's adds a little nice feature to it as well. So let me just bring up the camera. Isn't that pretty? Let's just bring it up. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And again, and even also, if you've got just end of a roll of some ribbon and it's not enough to make a bow, use it like this and use little tail ends as well. If you can't make any loops out of it, but you can use it as tail ends to add into an arrangement, do that. Even if you have to do the tail ends individually, one at a time, to place them in, then do that. You don't just have to have one type of ribbon. You could mix the ribbon, and you could have, like, if you did a blue, have a plain blue as well to go with this. So then you can use more different ribbons if you haven't got enough to make as many tail ends as I've done here. Then add in a pale, a white or a navy blue to it, and have like one of each tail end together. Or if you want 4 like I've done, then maybe add 2 of each tail end of the different ribbons in together, if you haven't got enough to make 4 out of one ribbon. So that's what it looks like from the top. Doesn't that look pretty? Really, really pretty. Busy, natural, where there's all different lengths. I'm not really one for compact arrangements where everything is all at the same height. When it comes to obviously sympathy flowers and things, then like my mum's with all the white chrysanthemum carnations, then they have to be at the same height. But then when you add in your floral, give them all different heights. Like I've made these wispy. These are sticking out a little bit more. The bigger flowers are set in a little bit deeper. So bring them all out at different lengths so it looks more natural. And then also have wispy foliage that comes out what's slightly longer as well, because in nature, in your garden, some foliage is longer than others. If you've got them with flowers, some foliage what belong with the flowers can be longer than the actual flower and go past them and droop out. So try and think of it like that. If you're still unsure how how to place them in, just have a quick walk in your yard or your garden and have a look at your flowers and the leaves on them and other flowers and foliage around them, and look at the different heights, and that will give you an idea on how it should look in the nature, with the natural look. And come back in if you have to take a picture of it. Take a picture, just come back in, keep your picture at the side, and keep just looking at it, so it keeps reminding you and giving you some ideas on how you would place in your foliage and floral. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I really like that. I'm glad I've used up my oddments or my leftovers or scraps. You know, that's really used a lot, and that again could make somebody a lovely gift for either a birthday, by the you know, at the cemetery, by the gravestone, or as a Mother's Day gift or a Father's Day gift, or just as a gift in itself. And that would sit proudly with anybody. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope you give it a go. Even if you don't have a basket, just use either a square, rectangular, or a round container or a plant pot. You know, whether it's a plastic plant pot or a ceramic, it doesn't matter. And do the similar thing there in that container as well. And also make sure that you place in a bit of weight below, especially if you're using plastic or wicker or rattan containers, because they are lightweight and you're putting in weight on the top with the foam. Some tend to, if there's a bit of a wind, fall over. So place in some stones off your garden or off your yard, or if you have decorative stones, place in that, or if you have any sand, place some sand in a bag and fasten the bag up tight, maybe with a cable tie or wire, and sit that at the bottom for the weight, and then that will stop it from falling over. I do know some people with sand, they do wet it because it becomes heavier. So you can either have it dry or just wet it, not where it's really, you know, soggy and it's dripping. Just make it damp so it adds a little bit extra weight to it, and that also helps. So give it a go. Have a wonderful time doing it. Grab all your oddments, your scraps, your leftovers in your floral and your foliage, and put them together, whether it's a multicolored arrangement or just something like I've done, blue and white or yellow and white, red and white, whichever color, guys, and create something beautiful. And it's one way to use up your leftovers. So have a wonderful day. Take care. Good health, everybody. God bless you all, and thank you again for all your wonderful comments. I really, 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 I'm so incredibly touched, honestly, deeply touched, for all your lovely, you know, heartwarming kindness concerning the sad times that I'm going through. I know my mum would have wanted me to carry on and do my flowers. My mum loved flowers of all different styles, you know, kinds. She just loved flowers. And I know my mum would be, I know my mum, she would be saying, stop sitting around, Iris, and worrying over me. Go and do your flowers and go and get it done. People are going to want to see what you can, excuse me, what you can create. And then there was occasions when I did videos, guys, my mum was in the background, but she said, don't let anybody know I'm here. So I never used to say. But there was odd occasion where you may have spotted her and my sister on a video, because my sister don't mind being on videos. But yeah, she loved sitting here watching me do and create beautiful arrangements for you guys, and to hopefully inspire you to create something. So I know my mum, she would have said it. So I'm going to get going. What time are we on? Oh, it's 2:30. I've done all my work, caught up. So I'm going to finish early today. I've done my work this morning, and I've done my lovely video. So I'm going to go in the house and sit with my husband and have a nice hot coffee with him. So take care, guys. Have a wonderful day. Again, God bless. Keep your comments coming. Please subscribe, share and like. Share it to all your friends, family, you know, people who you know, even if they just come along to watch my videos. As I've always said, you never know. It may inspire them to give it a go themselves. So, let's see. So thank you all again, dearly, really, really dearly. Take care. Have a wonderful day. And God bless. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Excuse me. Right, let's just have a closer look. So here we have our lovely blueberries. There we have our little blossoms where they just come in a bag with the heads, and I put the picks on. There's our two-tone blue roses, like an ombre look. There's our little baby white carnations, our dusky blue hydrangeas. These are our plastic, as you can see with the light on them, our plastic tulips, which would be fabulous for outside. Then we have our wispy twiggy bits wrapped around the handle with the milky white butterfly here and the lovely beautiful royal blue one here. And then we have our waxed ruscus with, these were on the picks that I had with the foliage here and the blossoms what came with it, and these little bits of bamboo as well. They were all on one pick. And then we have our dark navy blue seed heads and some more little hydrangeas here what I put on picks as well. And then we have our pretty ribbon as well, where in the end I cut the loop as you saw and made 4 tail ends instead. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope that you give it a go. Have fun and enjoy. So take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.